Hey everyone, welcome back to B2B 1on1. Today I'm so honored to have Jaqueline Norvell, our very own brown bag lady, here with us today. She is the CEO of a wonderful 501c3 that gives back to the homeless.
A brown bag means more than just a meal. It's something positive. A friendly smile, a little eye contact. People need to know that they are not forgotten. My name is Jaqueline Norvell, and I am the brown bag lady. They call me the brown bag lady. On the first Sunday of every month, we make 200 brown bag lunches. We go down to the most nitty-gritty part of Los Angeles, known as Skid Row. We hand out nutrition, free haircuts, toiletries. We just want to make a difference in the community. Free healthcare info! The homelessness in Los Angeles, it has turned into an epidemic. People are starving. It's not a black thing, a white thing, a Christian thing, a Jewish thing. We have to come together as a people. We cannot ignore this issue. Our mission is to actually get people off the street. I cannot walk past these people every day and step over them and not do something about it.
For speaking with me.
Thank you for having me. This is
Yeah.
wonderful. I'm honored that you guys are, shedding light on our nonprofit. So I really appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys coming out today. It's an honor. It started off, I actually was at a Laker game, and the car went east instead of west. And everybody's like, oh yeah, I've been to Skid Row, or I work downtown. I know Skid Row. But to be on Skid Row on a Friday night and see, people warming their hands in a can of fire, to drive down a street and look at people peeking out a row. And I think people who don't live in Los Angeles believe, oh, it's just a row. No, it's an entire community. So I went back to the office and I asked my coworkers, I wasn't asking for much. Like, can you give me $20 and let's go feed the homeless? Oh. So that's really how it started. And then I got a Christmas bonus that year, took some of my money, made about 70 meals, and when they were asking for food, they were also asking for clothing.
Right.
So we were like, oh man, I didn't think. You just don't know.
You learn as you go.
Yeah, you don't know. So we did it again the following year, and I worked full time at a law firm. So the attorneys were like,
Doing
look,
all the things, Jackie.
Thank you,
all
thank
the
you.
things. I love it.
I'm a legal assistant by day, and then by night, I put my hair on top of my head, I call this my uniform, my sweats, my t-shirt. I'm bringing fanny
my
packs
kind of
back. So, we just hit the pavement, and it's truly, during the pandemic, it was sad to see that the big nonprofits and the big charities, they have paid employees, so they had to be careful. They couldn't, put anyone's health at risk. So we just hit that pavement harder. 7 days in a row we went out. We made the food, we got hygiene, as you know, toilet paper and any paper products was hard to come by. We got what we could, and we just hit that pavement and made sure that people got fed and toiletries and had jackets and something warm.
Thank you. By the way, thank
My
you for doing that.
pleasure.
That's such important work, and I know that the homeless problem is only growing, especially in Los Angeles,
Yes.
throughout this pandemic.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, and it's cold out right now, and I love the work you're doing, keeping
Thank
people
you.
fed and warm, and
Thank
things
you.
that we don't think of, because like you're saying, at first you thought, oh, food.
Yes.
But under the conditions right now,
That's my freight elevator, by the way. We have a freight elevator.
We're keeping it real. We're
Yeah.
we're in a building. We're downtown LA,
Yeah,
so it's
in
all
a
good. All
loft.
the sounds. I'm
Yep.
sure we'll hear a couple more. But yeah, you don't think of people also need blankets and coats, and I just can't believe the amount of things that you've accumulated. It's incredible,
Yeah.
and
All
how you grow.
donated.
Donated.
All
you have vans.
donated.
You said 1,800 pairs.
Vans donated 1,800 pair of tennis
That is
shoes.
amazing.
These are tote bags
Amazing.
full of t-shirts, socks, a baseball cap.
Wow.
These are all, we also go to an underserved elementary school every year. This is enough backpacks to put together 500 backpacks stuffed, not just the backpack, stuffed with school supplies. Everything has been donated. All of that is feminine hygiene products for women. We don't think about that. One thing I want to make sure that people know is
there's a huge misconception, and I hear a lot of people saying, well, they should have made better life choices. Well, I don't work every day to give my money away. Well, let me tell you something. If you don't have an uncle, a mom and dad, someone to help you if the clutch goes out in your car or you miss a month of rent, you're in trouble.
Right.
Just think about how many times a family member has helped you out, or a best friend, or you break your phone and you drop it and you're like, oh, can you loan me $300 so I get paid? A lot of people don't have that. I've met women that are secretaries living in their car and they can't get a job because they don't have a computer, and everything now is apply online. So, and it's sad. Like, if we could just find a little bit more compassion.
A lot more compassion
Yes.
and grace.
There you go. A lot more.
I cry every episode, guys. I think I have issues because that just makes me so sad. And I think this is actually a great time to cross over because
Yes.
bullying, like it's I would love for you to kind of just teach us how we can be better towards towards the homeless.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it's not just about life. It's not about life choices. Sometimes it's just that sometimes life happens and we're stuck in situations that we can't climb out of, and that's just life, and we need to have compassion and grace, but there is a way to also be compassionate and graceful towards these people, and you were mentioning eye contact and how important that is. I mean, these are people, these are our people.
Yes. And it's unbelievable to me that when people are walking down the street and you see a homeless person coming to you, I'm guilty of it as well. You avert your eyes. You're like, all of a sudden you're looking at your phone and you want to look away. And a homeless person told me one time, people think being homeless is contagious, so don't look at him, don't look at him. And I think being in this pandemic and during this whole shutdown, you've heard people sinking into depression and people are suicidal. And this is like 10 months, almost a year of, but you still have your TV, you still have your friends, you can have your Zoom calls. Imagine these people are ignored. They're invisible to us. And so, and then, if we could just say hello. I'm not saying you have to reach in your pocket and give someone $100, but just a hello, hey, I'm going in the store. Do you need anything? I can't tell you how many times people have just been like, I'm hungry. Can you get me a sandwich? And I don't have the secret sauce. I don't have the remedy to wipe out homelessness, but what I do know is that you will not go to bed hungry on my watch. And that is something I can do. It's free. Like, I can give you my time. I can give you my energy. I can give you a positive word of encouragement. I'm not rich. When I started Brown Bag Lady, I'm a single mom living in a 2-bedroom apartment. You're gonna make me cry.
I love this.
I'm a
Please
single
do.
mom
I think this is so incredible.
in a 2-bedroom apartment, and people mean well. Like, a lot of my coworkers were like, "Hey, love your hustle, love it, but how are you going to sustain this?" And I was like, you know what? I don't know, but I think I'm just crazy enough to know, at the risk of sounding corny, if you build it, they will come. And everything in here has been donated.
Right.
Everything. Even the dollies, the racks have been donated because people see what we need. And if we just work together, no one's a multimillionaire, but if we somebody always has a connection. Oh, my cousin works at Foot Locker. They'll donate socks. Oh, I have a friend that does this, and if we just come together, it's amazing what we can do. And as far as the meals, the meals are amazing too. Mastros has donated.
Wow.
Jelena on Abbott Kinney in Venice has donated. So if people could just be, compassionate and think outside of yourself, and everybody has an opinion about a homeless person, and everyone is not on drugs. It's hard out there. And LA is a very unforgiving, it's a beautiful city. I love LA. It's a tough city.
It is.
It's a tough crowd.
Yeah, I think just going back for a second, you were saying, that all of this was donated. The answer will always be no if you don't ask. I don't think we realize as human beings how many great human beings there are out there. We're so caught up in the media and in social media and negativity, but there are a lot of people that want to help. And if
Yes.
you just ask,
Yes.
you'll be surprised how many times I would like to think more often you will get a yes than a no.
Epidemic has been a horrific thing worldwide. It has given people, it has demanded you sit still
Right.
and take a look at yourself. And it has demanded it's you and your mirror, and you're looking at yourself every night in the mirror, and do you like what you see? And it has restored my faith in mankind. People have been painfully honest with me and told me that, you know, hey, I've never volunteered before. I've never donated before. But you know what? Sitting here and I've looked in my closet, I don't need 10 ski jackets.
Exactly.
So here you go. We were able to collect 500 coats during the wintertime and pass them out to the homeless. We went to Skid Row, Venice, Santa Monica, all over West Hollywood, West LA, everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's so gratifying, not to make it selfish, but if you're one of those people, like many people who have looked away just because it's easier or because we're busy or
Yes.
whatnot, just I'm promising you this work is so fulfilling, and just knowing how many lives you truly are changing, even
Yeah.
if you can't donate money or time, saying hello to somebody. Like
Yes.
the worst thing in the world is feeling lonely and feeling isolated, and
Yeah.
I can't think of a worse feeling, and that's where these issues manifest, you know, the suicidal thoughts and depressions and anxieties. Like, people need people. We need each other.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who you are.
You need that interaction. You need that.
So sad.
Yeah, but if we could just step outside of ourselves, and you know, it is a form of bullying to
Absolutely.
ignore an entire group of people. You
And
know,
we're
and
at over in the 60,000 range of homeless.
Yes, and it's getting worse. No one can.
In
I
LA?
mean, our rents in LA are astronomical.
Tell me about it. I know.
Come on.
I don't know everything. I don't, you know, but at least we can start in places like this and
Yes.
help in any way we can. Clean out your closet. You know, we don't need those
Yes.
10 ski coats. But it's just
Right.
really, I've been so tapped in lately, and it really breaks my heart because it can be anyone. We're in such tough times. People are losing their jobs left and right. And it could be anybody. You don't know where
Yeah.
these people didn't, I'm sure all of them didn't think that they were going to be in this situation.
Right.
You don't know what life is going to throw at you. So
don't.
let's be compassionate. Let's
Yes.
lead with grace. I love everything that you do.
Thank you.
Where can people donate, or I'm guessing you have a website?
Yeah,
or-
the website is brownbaglady.org. We also have our Instagram, which is brownbaglady_, and there are all types of ways to donate. And we have a wish list on Amazon. And, you know, we just ask that, get to me every time, I'm sorry, that you just think outside of yourself. What, you know, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's relative. And I'm not saying you have to make this amazing, you know, 5-course meal, but how about you keep a goodie bag in your car? That's a project you can do with your child. And, you know, you can go to the Dollar Tree and get hand wipes and toothbrush, toothpaste.
And we should be teaching this to our children.
Yes,
right?
and you can do it with your child and keep them in, and then that starts the conversation. How do you become homeless? Why are they living in a tent? And that starts them at a young age, because the children are our future. And if they start being more compassionate, then honey, it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And
I don't like how it's the stereotype to everybody, because like if you look behind me, oh God, they're, you know, these are they're our kids and
Yes.
our youth that are homeless.
yes,
It's not, you know, always the addict or,
yeah.
you know, whatever it may be, I don't know.
So many young homeless people are out there, and so many, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've stopped and someone is sitting on the curb and crying, and I ask, what happened, if you don't mind me telling you? Well, I mustered up the courage to tell my parents that I'm gay,
This is
and I
so
got kicked out
huge
that
right
night.
now.
I mean, kicked out, and I was like, but how can you do that? Because I had a whole relationship, a whole friendship with this young lady,
I'm so
and
happy you're highlighting this.
oh gosh, it ended up being just an amazing friendship because she was crying. I mean, on the curb, it was 10 o'clock at night. I got her a sleeping bag. I went to work the next morning. There was a Starbucks in the bottom of my building, now hiring. Fast forward, I got her a bus pass. She went to the interview, which was being held at the Beverly Center. She got the job. I saw her every day for a year. One person made a difference.
That's right.
One person who wasn't scared to speak up, who stuck up for that girl. She has a job. Starbucks has a program where they pay for your schooling. She went back to school. She has an apartment. But what if I would have just kept driving? Like, whatever. She was crying.
You don't know people's stories and their battles, and the LGBTQ plus community. So many of our youth, just because they identify a certain way, they are winding up on the streets. And I want to go back to you because I said, it's not always the addict, and even if it is, like, are you perfect? Like,
yes,
someone has an addiction. That's a disease. Like, you still can't offer that person grace. Don't you want them to get better? Like, you don't know what led to that addiction.
Right. We've all walked. What is it? The Hall of Shame. The Walk of Shame.
Walk of Shame.
When you got your shoes in front of the light. We've all had that walk,
We've all
baby.
had our moments. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I've had my fair share of things that I've gone through in my life. And it's just about being human and being,
compassionate. Think outside yourself. That's all I ask is just, and no one is perfect. I'm not a saint. I'm just like the next guy with traffic in LA and drive and turn.
I like to say she's a saint.
No.
But I mean.
No. But, that's all we need is just think outside of yourself and stick up for people.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of bullying. Like, if you see someone, you see the underdog, it's not always cool to be part of the cool crew.
No.
What's cool
it's never
now?
Cool.
It's cool to stick up for an underdog and to think outside of yourself. Like, I posted something one time. It's gangster to give back.
Yeah.
And that's how we should think.
I think so. I mean, we've talked about bystanders. We talk about this so often in our school programming. It's almost just as bad to sit back and watch. And also, with now there's, everyone's got their phones to record this disgusting behavior.
Yes.
We've had advocates, that we've worked with whose family members have been the person who was being bullied in that situation. And not only were they so badly hurt, the story is terrifying, but people had the audacity to film it and to not do anything. Like, it really, really breaks my heart. So, I love speaking with people like you who are compassionate and loving.
Thank you. I mean, so I want people to know if, they think, by 30, I haven't bought a house, or by 40, I haven't found my perfect job, or I'm not married yet, or where's my soulmate? There is no expiration on a dream. If you have something you love and you want to do it,
hell yeah.
I started Brown Bag Lady at 50. So I had raised my son, put him through college, and then I saw a need in the community. So I tell people all the time, I'm not rich. I don't come from, a lot of money. I'm sure you have better degrees on your wall. You've probably been to Europe 3 times before I could even afford a passport. But one thing you're never going to do, you ain't never going to out-hustle me. Ever. You will never
I love it.
My grind.
That you don't necessarily have to have this major thing happen to you in order to want to give back. You don't have to have a story.
Yeah.
It didn't have to happen to you. Your family doesn't have to be affected by it.
Right.
We're all people. We all need each other.
Yeah.
So if you aren't involved in any type of giving back, I urge you, please, we're in desperate times, really trying times.
Yes.
To just every little bit.
And we all came together.
Yeah.
What a difference it would make. And it's a domino effect, it's a wave of positive energy and a wave of goodness.
Oh my God, I love that you have dog food.
Yes, Real Time Rescue is an amazing dog rescue. And so they found us on social media, and they donate on a regular basis, and they are just an amazing rescue, and they provide kibble and wet food, cat food, shots, everything that a homeless person needs for their dog.
It makes me so happy.
Or cat. Yeah,
wow.
They're an amazing group.
There's so many organizations. Like, it really blows my mind. There's so many people that want to do good.
During this time it restores your faith, because as bad as things can be, and with politics and everything going on in the world, and just so many awful, depressing stories, running a nonprofit like this and people donating. And I have a lady, she's on a monthly, she gives me $5 a month. Aww. That $5 means more to me than somebody who I know has a lot of money, because her $5 really counts. That, you know, that means a lot to her. So everything, you know, is important, and every bit helps. So
Absolutely.
It's been amazing.
I love that. So my last little question for you, that I like to ask my guests, is if you could go back, and this is to any age, and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would tell my younger self, don't stop. Just keep grinding. Just keep going. Don't get clouded by anyone's opinion. Just keep hustling and just keep going, because that's the only thing that somebody can't take away from you. Right. You know, you can lose an apartment, you can lose a house, you lose a relationship, but your so true. Inner hustle and grind, nobody can take that away from you. And that's, you know, and don't listen to anyone either. There was a couple of people, you know, and they were like, no offense, and I knew it was going to be offensive once they say that. Right. No offense, but my husband was saying, in the big scheme of things, what's 200 meals? And I was like, well, that's 200 meals from a single mom who does it every Sunday, which is 800 meals a month, which at the end of the year, because then we also get other meals that people donate throughout the week. So that's not bad. One person with a group of volunteers making sure 10,000 people a year, you know, don't go to bed
I would turn around and be like, what is one meal to you? Because I get hangry, okay? And I'm so blessed to have food on my table. I can't even believe, like, one meal should be something that people should be applauding you for, helping one person.
You get that in your head, you're like, well, what is 200 meals?
A lot.
Yeah, but I mean, it is, because we are consistent, and I'm proud to say we have never missed a Sunday, ever. I mean, people have lives. They've gotten married. They have breakups. They have sick parents that they need to tend to. Every Sunday, these people come together. We play music. We have a good time. We make food. We go out. We give eye contact.
So fun. I want to volunteer. I'm coming.
It is the energy, man. It's just so amazing. And, you know, in addition to a meal, I hope that they know we see them, and we also hand out some hope.
Right.
You know, not just, oh, here you go. We take our time. And it's a long day, and I'm like, why does it keep, you know, we leave here at 3, it's 10 o'clock at night, because we talk to everybody. I'm like, and you get to learn people's story. Like, girl, what happened with your hip? Or, oh, hey, man, how's your stomach feeling? Or last week we were here, here's those nail clippers you asked for. You know, we take requests, and we write down what people need, and we try and fulfill it the following Sunday.
Thank you for all of your work, all that hustle. It has paid off.
Thank you.
I mean, you're mentioning ladies and Brawny and Vans. I'm like, what?
You're like, excuse
me.
They
step our game up, Dimitri. I'm inspired. So thank you. And I'd love for you to give us a little tour. Is that cool?
Absolutely. I would love it.
Yay. Yes. Awesome. Let's do it.
They came on Saturday, and they made, look at these bags, though. Seriously, look how much stuff is in here. 350 bags.
The masks,
300.
everything.
I mean, look at that. Look how much stuff.
That is amazing.
350, and then it was awesome. Shoes. So these are shoes that we get that are not, you know, that are gently used.
Right.
So we try and keep boots, because during the winter time, like, you know, they need boots. Yeah. And so, and then, you know, they're nice, but people just don't wear them anymore, and we size them. So when we go out, we have a bag, and, you know, these are 9s, 10s, 11s. So these are gently used. And then Vans donated 1,800 pair of shoes.
That is amazing.
It is. These blankets were listed on one of Oprah's favorite things. And this is a black-owned company.
Amazing.
And yes, they donated all of these blankets for us. Really, really soft. And this is E. Marie. So
I might need to get an E. Marie blanket myself.
It's so soft. I mean, really, really. Hello.
I know, that's
Very nice.
expensive.
Right? Yeah, so they donated those and we'll be handing those out.
Wow.
And these are, oh, you saw our toiletries already?
Yes.
And these are socks that the Clippers sent us.
Amazing.
Bags of
We were
socks
feeling them.
that-
They're so squishy
Yeah,
too, and it's
so
warm.
nice. We're so grateful for that donation. And then over here we have Vans. In addition to the tennis shoes, they also donated tote bags. And inside each bag is a baseball cap, a t-shirt, a pair of socks, a commuter mug. And so we actually handed these out yesterday on
Vans. This is awesome.
Random Act of Kindness Day. So each bag is like this. And then all the goodie stuff is in there. I mean, cool
These
stuff.
are cool. I know.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, so we have that. And then if you go that way, we have all of the bras and panties and the hygiene products as they come in. We separate them.
Awesome.
And this is every year for the underserved grade school. We do backpacks and we stuff it all with really great items. And then we just separate the men's clothes. We go through everything, make sure it's in decent shape, no armpit stains.
Right.
It smells good. And then you have the women's clothes. And then we go over to our coats that are by size. And because for Christmas, we collected 500 coats from the community. 4 businesses let us have a coat collection box. And they were so gracious. And they would call me every week. Hey, you got 3 more coats. Hey, you got 5 coats. Ended up being 500 coats.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Look
amazing.
what you did with a dream.
I
I'm like so inspired. I'm mind blown. Look at this.
B2B Bullying, thank you for having me on your podcast today. We appreciate you shining light on the homeless epidemic in Los Angeles. B2B Bullying, B2B Bullying. That includes homeless people, you know?